champions. We don't really have one of those for the jungle yet, but maybe we will after this season. Who knows? Well, here we go. Picks and bans for game number 1. IM versus CJ Entis. And there's that Rumble ban. Of course, Rumble's been played quite a bit by both of these top laners. It's a priority for most top laners right now.
Yeah, but everyone bans Rumble against Shy. That's a champion that no one wants to let him have right now.
Yeah.
If they can avoid it, we've seen how well he can play on that one. Annie also taken out against Mad Life, trying to eliminate some of the hard engage. This makes me wonder if we're going to see a kite composition or a poke comp here from IM, because Rumble and Annie being banned are two champions that can really get into your backline and deal a lot of damage and prevent you from kiting.
I mean, it makes sense, right, to try to take away CJ's ability to engage well in team fights. I mean, they do, like we said, rely so much on team fighting as a kind of a vehicle for objective taking that it's a good thing to target, I suppose.
Well, the problem is that if CJ, who you know loves Jace, decides to run a kite composition, you have really limited your options for engaging as well.
I mean, Space plays a lot of Corki, so they could go Jace Corki and just go for poke comp too, kind of, huh?
Yes, that's the big problem. And in fact, CJ really likes to play poke comps. So in some ways, unless IM can snap up a few of these champions to engage with first, they may end up trapping themselves just a hair.
Something in a big tank for Shy, a tank for Mad Life, and then you go Nidalee, Jace, Corki.
Good work.
Yes, sickest poke
You just
comp.
go Janna too with that.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, Janna would work fine. Yeah, you need a little bit of disengage as well. Alistar's still open too for Mad Life if he wants to grab it. And they may try to take this Echo away from Coco, but I feel like the Jace is looking more tempting for Coco anyway.
I think you probably take Alistar here if you're going to.
I agree, it's a scarier pick.
If you're going to do that. There's also Gragas still available. Surprisingly, no jungle bans this time. Of course, you know, some changes to these champions, but Alistar is going to be that priority pick.
I mean, Tucson played a lot of Gragas when he was jungling for IM, but Ambition never really did it that much. Only 2 games this season
because
on that champion.
CJ usually bans it because they are not worried about Ambition's champion pool. They're worried about what the enemy can play, because Ambition has shown that he can play Warrior Enchant Lee Sin or Magus Enchant Nidalee just fine. So you have a lot more flexibility with Ambition, especially on early game junglers. So it's a way for CJ to get an early game jungle advantage without giving up too much, because not so many players play the Lee Sin or the Nidalee in the current meta.
Makes sense. And looks like they will go with that Gragas, perhaps.
Well, they can get it. It does make sense. But picking the Echo so early is a bit interesting here. Of course, Frozen much more known as a control mage player, and I think that's what you take, the Sivir instead.
Yeah.
Now, Sivir's ult was nerfed on 5.11, but, you know, that really isn't going to change a whole lot. At a professional level, the speed boost, even for 4 seconds, is going to be enough to do what you need to have done, because you're going to be coordinated enough as it is that using that ultimate to attack a flank when someone's trying to flank you and kind of turn that fighter on its head or engage very efficiently, everybody's going to be on the same page anyway, so I don't think that actually is going to be too consequential in terms of our Sivir picks.
Well, I mean, let's face it, if you're playing late game at the professional level and you don't get what you need to get done out of 4 seconds with her ult, things are going to go really wrong either way. So yeah, at the pro level, that really doesn't affect things. Well, IM's had some pretty interesting picks so far this season. We did see that Galio last time out. But
the Galio was fine. I mean, it wasn't great, but I understood where they were going. The Devourer Fizz jungle was terrible. That was, I never even began to understand where they were going with that one and what had to do with their composition. Now, Hecarim is going to be selected.
Something a bit more normal for IM.
Yeah, Apple taking that flank pick already to try and deal with the Sivir and possibly discourage a Victor pick here from Coco. Victor falling awfully far down the draft this time.
Yeah, and Lilac's going to be taking that Rek'Sai. So comfortable, strong, fairly easy to play jungler for Lilac.
Yeah, not too hard to engage with that.
And there's that Jace. Will we see Coco lock it in? I feel like these changes were like, hey, Coco, we're in love with the Coco. We want to give you something. Here's a gift for you, Coco. One of your best champions. Improved. Well, I'd love to see the Bard.
Yeah, you still haven't cast a Bard game.
Not since MSI, no. Those Bard games were not good.
Yeah, a little bit different. Okay,
Ooh, it's
Mad
time.
Life.
Mad Life playing Bard. There we go. That makes me happy, man. Finally, finally. My favorite support on my favorite support.
All right, so Azir is going to be the more conservative lock, and CJ holding out a long time to pick a top laner here, even though they knew what that top lane matchup is. So this says they're still looking for the piece to kind of fit everything together right now. Could see some cool Bard ults, especially if he follows up on Ambition's ult. If Ambition breaks the enemy team apart with an explosive cast, Mad Life can just hit a couple targets on the back, and then they can isolate and kill somebody immediately.
Yeah, I mean, knocking someone into the Q from Bard, of course, with the Gragas ult creates some pretty nice CC. And then just able to kind of lock down half of the enemy team and engage on the other half is pretty nice too. So what is I am going to go with? Corki Victor seems pretty reasonable. What do you think about the Corki though?
Good poke with Victor. Should be
Yeah.
fine in this composition. Your damage is balanced out that you would have a lack of AD because you have Hecarim in the top side. So nice comp from IM. Pretty standard stuff. Good front line, good flank. They can pretty much do it all.
Oh, well.
Shen.
Wow, Shen. He's back again. He did get some little buffs this patch.
That explains what they were doing. That's why we had
Yeah.
the last pick top laner.
That makes sense.
There was some weird shenanigans going on right there. So that's the draft order is much clearer now as to why they did that. Now Shen didn't get too much of a buff. The biggest buff is probably his magic resistance growth. Because now he's going to be much less vulnerable to poke and the AP without itemization, but
I believe his dash cost was reduced slightly too. Yeah, so not the hugest changes, but maybe making him tanky enough. I mean, Shai is like one of the preeminent Shen players here in Korea, was for a long time, so not too surprising to see him picked up. I would have thought, though, out of the Shen and the Jace, that we would have seen the Jace taken by Coco before the Shai from, or the Shen from Shai.
Well, I mean, this really does fit in CJ's wheelhouse, though. Remember that this is pretty much the old Frost roster with Ambition at the jungle position, and Frost was always known throughout their entire competitive history as a Shen playing team.
Oh, yeah.
A team that was very good at using Shen ults to deal with the team fights. Now here, there's not an obvious target for Shen to ult on, really, so I'm curious how he's going to use it. There's no one who's really going to be going in. Unless Coco decides to go in with some crazy, like, Emperor Divide knockback tricks. Could be exciting.
Well, here's what you do, a super long magical journey, and then Shen ults you during the middle of it, so it just pops out the other end. Well, here we go, guys. Game number 1, IM versus CJ. Who takes it? It's time to get in the game and find out. And welcome to Summoner's Rift. Incredible Miracle. Taking on CJ Entis. The fans out in force. IM always having a vocal fan base, no matter how the team is doing, and this is actually Mad Life's first professional game on this Bard, too.
Yep, it is indeed. So
very cool.
Something changing here, at least for Mad Life, thinking that it's time to bust out the Bard. I mean, they have plenty of speed for the engage.
Yeah.
I just really am curious how this Shen is going to be used.
By coming this far in, he's going to make his Chime spawn in, deep in the enemy jungle, too, so I wonder if he's going to get to grab those on his way out. You know what's interesting? When the Korean casters talk about Magical Journey, they always say it, Magical Journey. they always have that intonation on it. I don't know why. It's hilarious.
They also say
she kind of looks like the Invisible Man when he was trying not to be invisible in that one movie there.
They also always say Magical Journey in English because, as they tell us, the Korean name is nowhere near as funny for Magical Journey. So they like to use the English version.
Magical Journey.
Is that what you're gonna do, Noah?
That's what I'll do. I'll try to do it the Korean style. That's what they say. Only my pronunciation was much better, I would have to say. Yes. Well, it looks like perhaps a little bit of a blue steal here. They've got wards to protect Ambition and Shai. Yeah, they're going for it.
Yeah, interesting pathing here right at level 1 from the jungle. especially since we actually have a 2v2 in the bottom side, but I suppose they have the information they need. They got, look at the Ring of Wards. They have one in between the Tier 1 and Tier 2 in mid lane, so they just knew that there was nobody in there.
They're going to be able to 3-buff Lilac pretty easily now, it seems like, too, because they've got Mad Life and Space down in bottom lane to come up if they need to protect their own blue. So really focusing on to Lilac already. Wow, Mad Life taking a lot of poke. You don't need to get that close to hurt people with Bard.
There we go.
I am collage.
The I am collage. Well, so in the end, Shy didn't actually hit level 2 off of that camp. So Apple's just going to TP right back in and hit that level 2 quickly. So basically what CJ's doing here is they said, we want to take away and make it hard on Lilac to jungle, which makes sense as a strategy considering that he may not be the most comfortable in that role, at least at the moment. So, but it is hurting Shy just a little bit in the top side. Obviously not that much, but...
Yeah, he should be fine. He's already nearly caught up in CS and all that. And yeah, I would imagine Hecarim would just have a little bit of an edge early against Shen anyway. Do you think the shield from Shen is strong enough to kind of go toe-to-toe with this Hecarim?
Well, he doesn't have shield yet, so
Not yet, no.
Yeah, I would not be that confident in it, and you can see Apple's really pushing the lane hard because one of Shen's flaws is he does have a hard time farming under the turret because he's not the best champion in that.
Oh, hello. Body slam onto Apple doing a decent amount of damage from Ambition. He's kind of hanging out, making sure that top lane turret doesn't take any more damage than it needs to.
Yeah, holding off that blue buff as well. So question is, are they going to hand that over to Coco early? A distinct possibility. Lilac not going to find a whole lot in his topside jungle right there, and with Shy already pressed up, he does have limited options.
Well, Shy's done a really good job farming under turret already, though. I mean, Apple came down to tangle with Ambition a little bit, but Shy keeping up in CS so far. Yeah. Not too bad. The world's worst ninja's back. I'm happy.
Are you?
I am.
Sure, I'm happy. I think
I miss his silly walk and his not being a ninja.
I'm not sure he's actually back, though. I think that...
I mean, he's back for this game anyway.
This may be a Shy thing. I'm skeptical as to what he's going to be doing in the long run.
I would say it's definitely a Shy thing, but will it be a good Shy thing?
Or a thing that other people do? Or is it going to be another Shyvana where that only Shy will play?
Yeah.
But he does very well on it.
Well, if anyone was going to try it, certainly would have been this guy, so.
Well, I'm curious. I mean, you would think that he was going to go Sunfire Cape here because that Shen really needs that item to have any semblance of wave clear and not have this Hecarim just shove him in and dictate the pressure in the side lanes in the late game. So you would think that that's what he's going to be going first. Obviously, he has taken that flash, didn't want to chance it with the smite in the top lane, but that may allow Apple just some more pressure. And like I said, normally you see that Shy and you think, well, he's going to be going for a composition that has a champion that he can clearly engage on. Mm-hmm. And again, you can do that with Azir, one would think, but there is a lot of risk to that.
You know, I kind of like the idea of top teleport or top smite Shen though too, because I mean you've still got that little AoE like you would have gotten from Sunfire Cape anyway, but the ability to taunt back into the back lines and challenging smite their AD carry, you know, that seems pretty good.
If you can hit that ability, I mean, taunt is not the most reliable ability to get into the back lines. That's why you usually need somebody to ride in on who has better engage, which is what CJ's lacking unless Ambition or Coco go really deep.
Certainly could happen. Or if Ambition can get somebody out of the back lines with his ult. Well, his bottom lane has been a lot of trading, but not a lot else. Lilac just stops by to drop a ward. And so far, not really deciding to make any plays. Here we go, Emperor's Divide, Frozen flashing away. Lilac back to support. They don't catch Coco. Ult traded for both summoners on Frozen side, though, so definitely a win for CJ.
Yeah, Frozen didn't even have his ult yet. That was a really good timing from CJ coming in right as Coco got level 6. And had Frozen not had those fast fingers, seeing Gragas come out of the bushes, he would have had a really bad time.
Yep.
But again, those... Ooh.
Oh, Roar getting low. Ignar, though, headbutt space into the wall, though. That probably saved Roar from having to burn any summoners.
Yeah, pretty nice little trade there for CJ Entis, but they're going to give time for LZIM's bottom lane, just a recall. Shy has that Cinder already and is starting to look for deep wards in the enemy jungler. Shy really likes to get these deep wards in because he really likes proxy farming when he can get the opportunity. Shy has a very good sense of how to play the map and how to play around the enemy jungler. We're seeing that here.
Yeah.
So Rek'Sai coming over for the blue buff right now. Will secure it this time alongside Frozen. So there's not going to be any further invades courtesy of CJ Entis, especially since Ignar is up in that top side, just on the off chance that there was a little bit of a skirmish around that, since they know that CJ had that timer and was aggressive enough to take the first one.
So here's a question for you. Why does Victor have like a staff that he shoots lasers out of and stuff when he already has like a third robo arm that does it? Doesn't it seem kind of redundant?
Do you,
know,
can you ever have too few lasers?
Yeah, but if I'm going to have another one, I'm going to give myself like a fourth robot arm instead of like something I have to carry around. Because essentially, by having to carry the staff all the time, he still only has 2 functional arms that he can pick things up with and stuff.
Maybe there's a high rate of failure on his shoulder-mounted arms, and the staff is more reliable.
Maybe. But still, I would rather mount it like a GoPro to my head or something, you know? That'd be cool.
It'd be hard to mount something the size of a staff to your head.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't mount the whole thing, just like the end, you know? The end that shoots
well,
stuff.
how do you know that that's the only part that that contributes to the shooting of stuff, though?
Any sort of electronics could be strung down the back of your head, down your spine, into like a cool like backpack apparatus, right? I've got this all planned out. I'm going to build it when I get home tonight. I'm going to come back. It's going to be great.
Great. Are you going to try and then get me to join the Glorious Evolution?
Yeah, absolutely. You want to join?
No.
You only have to pay like $50,000 to get to the like second level of my Glorious Evolution. Well, then I'll tell you the real secrets of the Glorious Evolution.
This is sounding a lot like Scientology.
No, it's completely different. We're way more legit, man. We're way more. Just come for a weekend on my like mega prison yacht, and I will tell you all about it.
Sounds good. I'll be there.
Did I say prison yacht? I meant mega fun times yacht. My bad. That's just slipped out sometimes, you know. Don't believe the papers. Well, CS leads in all the lanes except for bot for CJ right now. And space still pretty close either way. Actually, a pretty sizable one going in mid lane now. Huh.
Yeah, Coco, well, he did force Frozen out of lane just a little bit right there. There we go.
Emperor's Divide onto Lilac. Ambition trying to catch him. Lilac a bit low. Nice. And first blood goes to Ambition. Great catch with that explosive cast. Mad Life throws in the ultimate, but can't quite land it onto Frozen.
Well, Frozen, basically that ultimate was forcing Frozen to make a choice. If he was going to continue to be aggressive and go into lane, then he was going to have to walk there to get more spells off. If he went under tower, then he was no longer a threat. So yeah. They were just trying to prevent the turnaround gank because a lot of those ultimates had already been used. Ambition using his explosive cast to keep Lilac there, and Lilac remembers what it's like to be a pro player as he gives up first blood, and Roar just going to die to the flash auto.
Bloodthirsty Bard, Mad Life grabs the kill there. That's what I like to see. Oh yeah, he'll use that passive. He deserved it. Kill secured. He's back. He never left.
We'll get well. He
left for a while, but now he's back.
And CJ gonna take a dragon with that as well.
Nice.
Pretty easy conversion right there, especially since Frozen doesn't have that ultimate to really contest with any form of damage. So Lilac could try and steal.
And he's got a good chance.
He got it.
Oh, he did. Lilac giving up first blood, coming right back and stealing the dragon. Wow. Like they could have stuck around and killed him there, too. Oh, CJ is very generous today. Here, have a dragon, end your life.
Wow. I'm actually quite surprised. I mean, Lilac did have flash to get out of that if he needed to, but...
Yeah, you want to make him burn it, though, right?
A little bit of a tussle, and even though Coco had the pressure in the mid lane and Frozen was pushed all the way under the turret, just no one else there. I guess they were slightly afraid because Space was out of lane as well, but that seemed like really something you could do pretty easily.
Well, it was one of those kind of welcome back things. You're like, oh, it's been so long since Lilac played, I guess. I mean, we got first blood on him. We don't need to be that mean. Let's give him a dragon. Good guy, CJ.
It's like we don't really want a perfect game use, so here's your dragon.
Yeah, it's nice. Now, Mad Life hasn't really left bot lane too often to collect chimes. I wonder how many he's been able to pick up so far. Maybe they'll click on him later and we'll find out. Oh, Frozen getting caught there. Ignar may save him, pushing Ambition away. Nope, that's a lot of damage. Frozen still alive, flashes over the wall now. And Tempered Fate hits him. Mad Life trying to get there for the kill. He's got to time the Q, can't quite hit it. Meanwhile, Lilac getting a bit low. It looks like Frozen's going to escape here. Whoa, Mad Life went deep for the kill. He couldn't get it. Oh, Mad Life. Well, I respect the effort.
Well, a bit of a confusing
weird
team fight. It started off actually, so it was a really good start because Coco used the Emperor's Divide, and it looked like Mad Life hit his Q to tether him to the Emperor's Divide wall because that counts as terrain.
Right.
And so that was an interesting interaction there, nifty interaction set up. But Mad Life hit the Tempered Fate, but then got bounced back under the turret by Ignar while he was ulting. And so
he was like one auto away from getting that kill, too.
Yeah, it was very, very close. Couldn't get it in the end, though.
It happens. Just got to build more AP, right? I mean, you just have to do more damage initially.
So you got just load up on AP for your Q.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. And your passive. Your meeps.
The world's most powerful meeps.
Yep. Elite meeps.
Well, in spite of that unfortunate engagement for CJ, they still actually have a pretty nice lead going down. No turrets yet. This is all coming through the CS and basically just one kill.
Yeah.
So they've been managing to be pretty dominant in spite of that little mistake there made by Mad Life.
I mean, it's typical CJ, right? You know, you give up a kill or two early, maybe give up a little objective, but then you stay even enough, stay a little bit ahead, and then you start winning team fights in the mid and late game. Shy could be in a bit of trouble here. At Lilac coming in to try to get that knockup. Shy dodging it, still gets knocked up anyway. Talent out of the bush. Can he make it away? Ambition coming in to try to help. He's got his ult. Shy turning now, and yeah, Lilac and Apple know what's up.
Shy
back
just
away.
Intelligently holding on to his E there until the knockup had come through. And that way he's able just to taunt right out. And he's already getting tanking enough. Notice he has a Sunfire cape already finished.
Because if there's one thing a stealthy ninja needs, it's an on-fire cape.
Yeah, it really, the on-fire cape just allows you to broadcast your presence more readily to everyone around you.
He's like, he dives in with a flaming cape, throwing swords at people.
Taunting them, yelling insults the entire
it's
time.
Like, you suck! It's like us, that's Shen. Of course, who else would it be? I'm the best. He's like the ninja version of like the O'Doyles from that Adam Sandler movie, like Shen rules. That's, you know, if I was Shen and I was like ulting in, I would yell Shen rules at the top of my lungs as I came in with my flaming cape and throwing swords. That'd be pretty great. Why not wear tap dancing shoes at this point, Shen?
Oh, here's another bounce. Frozen's there. Gravity field is down.
Ambition zoning out Lilac, giving Coco some time to finish off his mid lane opponent. Looks like that'll be enough. Ambition comes in to grab the kill anyway. Uses his ult to secure it. Shy deciding to just kind of chill out on top of Frozen's body for a while. I've seen this kind of thing in Halo. He's just there for the disrespect.
Yeah, actually, like, not even remotely having to burn his ult right there. I don't think that was particularly necessary, but, you know, he did it for the sweet assist.
He did. You got to get those assists, right? Press R, get an assist. I mean, it's almost as easy as Karthus.
There's one more click with Shen, so it's actually twice as hard as doing it with Karthus. Thank you very much.
Twice as hard as Karthus is still almost as easy as Karthus, because Karthus is so much easier than anybody else. You know, if you look at like the bell curve of easy assists via ultimates, Shen and Karthus are on the pretty far end of that one. Yep. Right there with like Soraka, you know?
No, Soraka is as easy as Karthus, as we do see the bottom lane turret go down, conveniently right before this dragon spawns, so.
A little bit too conveniently. It's almost like they planned it ahead of time.
Yeah. It is almost like Ambition has already pink warded that brush so he can get this dragon easily.
Suspicious. I've seen this kind of thing. What I haven't seen a single magical journey from Mad Life yet this game. It's kind of disappointing. Oh, never mind. There we go. He didn't even need to do it. He's like, your wish is my command, Doa. Thank you, Mad Life. I appreciate it. The shortest magical journey in the history of magical journeys. I don't know why they say it like the guy from The Room, but they do.
We're glad they do.
What a great film that is.
So TP up for Shy, but no actual Shen ultimate right here. Stand United not available. Shy pretty handily winning these duels against the Hecarim right now with all that armor.
Yeah, he's doing pretty well. CJ's owning Tempered Fate. They caught Lilac, and they also caught the support as well. Can they do something? Ambition taking a lot of damage. Whoa, he actually goes down. Nice re-engage from Frozen, throwing down the Chaos Storm. Space in a lot of trouble, goes over the wall, gets exhausted, makes it out. Roar trapped against the wall. Emperor's Divide throws Frozen back into the river, and it looks like CJ has found the fight that they've been looking for. That's a double kill for Coco. Starting to come in for Space as well, too. He gets the double as well. And Mad Life just throwing in a magical journey. For the heck of it, they can take mid lane turret, then take Dragon. This is just classic CJ right here.
So CJ took that fight, and they went all in right there because Mad Life hit the ultimate, but also Shy had chunked out Apple in the top side, which meant that Apple had to recall before he was healthy enough to engage. Meanwhile, Shy was able to be that immediate presence. So it was a bit of a sloppy engage from CJ, but it was still smart of them to pull the trigger because they had that health advantage on the top laner, so the cleanup was there.
Yep. And an easy Dragon. Apple comes in to use his ult. He's like, I better use my ult. Let me get low enough, and then I'll have to use my ult. CJ ties up the Dragons, and way ahead at this point. 5K gold lead at about 1830.
Yeah, if you take a look at this, so Shy was just finishing off that top turret. There's the ult, but Ambition actually mistimes the stasis, so he doesn't hit his body slam right as they come out of it. So that's not very good coordination from CJ, but Roar goes way too deep, just gets cued into the wall by Bard and bursted down. Of course, Coco's Azir play in this team fight very good, just trying to zone out for space on the side, get that extra damage. And then Shy's going to show up with that TP, and Hecarim is just nowhere to be seen in that entire engagement.
Yep. Pretty easy 4v5 for CJ, and Mad Life really showing how that Tempered Fate can be used to set up those team fights.
The old Black Cleaver Shen.
Yes. Why not?
I mean, that must
Could
be
be
what
Trinity
he's,
Force.
I suppose.
Which is an extra Ruby Crystal.
Yeah, there's that Ruby Crystal there is making me think that this is actually going to be a very interesting Black Cleaver build that we're seeing coming through from Shy, just to split push as effectively as possible against this Hecarim. There's that cooldown reduction, very useful on Shen, generally speaking. So not the most orthodox build, but definitely something a little bit interesting.
Well, counting on just being tanky enough from the Sunfire Cape and his new magic resist per level, I suppose.
I'll probably get some more MR later, but it's not really a too terribly big factor for him yet if he just wants to elongate this split pushing phase. And
yeah, whoa, flash body slam. Nice ult by Ambition. Totally catch Frozen. Frozen getting very low. All Mad Life coming in to get the slow to help Space pick up that kill. Ignar trying to make something happen. He gets caught, trapped against the wall with that Q from Mad Life. Ambition makes it out of the fight. Shy coming down to ult him just to make sure he stays safe in another nice little team fight for CJ.
Well, Shy really saved Ambition right there with that ultimate.
Yeah.
Had he not, that Phosphorus Bomb might have been able to take him out, probably would have, it looked like. And now CJ is going to comfortably push into this mid lane.
Oh, so comfortable. Oh, that's not so comfortable for Apple. Tries to ult away with that Onslaught of Shadows. Shy's going to flash out Magical Journey, although they're not really going to go where they need to go. Tempered Fate dodged. I'm Bard and I helped.
Well, he was actually helping.
He's zoned with the Tempered Fate.
If the Tempered Fate hadn't been there, then Apple may have been able to get away. But because he had to turn back, Coco was able to pick up the kills. And man, Coco's Azir play has been so on point this game.
He has hit a lot of extremely good ults.
Yeah, and worked well with Ambition also.
Yeah.
So that time.
Well, Ambition for a jungler that hasn't played a lot of Gragas either this season, clearly showing that it's not because he can't.
Oh no, it's just because they don't need it to win. Ambition definitely looking very solid mechanically on this Gragas with some of these engages.
Yeah.
It's the Azir play that's really impressing me here from Coco.
I feel like Meeps is too mild of a term for Bard's little buddies, right? I don't know.
What do they need to be called then?
Murder friends.
Murder buddies?
It starts with them. Still use it. I mean, if you watch that little Bard cartoon, he's not exactly there to help everybody out.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
He doesn't really care at all.
He just grabs that thing. He's like, oh, thanks for the glowing bowling ball. Your village is getting destroyed. Oh, sorry, peace out.
Yeah, there was a lot of really good story in that video, I found. A lot of context for what was going on and the actions taking place.
It's like Bard, our hero, he's here to say, oh, he's not. Space tries to get away, but being exhausted makes that hard. Nice play from Ignar, getting that body slam back into the rest of his team.
Yeah, Space thought he was safe right there because he had a couple teammates in the jungle and he had a decent amount of wards, but he didn't really respect the fact that they could come through lane like that, and Ignar with the flash combo did him in. And considering they didn't have any eyes on 4 members at the time of IM, it was still risky for him to go that far forward because at best it could have been a 3v4 in IM's favor.
So you feel like Bard is, such a good example of a bloodthirsty support, right? Because from that cartoon we learned that Bard really is not a team player. He's just there to, get what he wants and then go take a break, play his like weird horn thing. Just chill out.
Where do you think he goes?
Probably just home. Just sits on the couch until the next artifact pops up, right? Yeah. Maybe just goes home and plays some League of Legends. Summons himself. I don't know. I would imagine that he probably spends a lot of time getting like haircuts and stuff.
Is it actually
Stylist.
hair?
I don't know. Maybe it's little tiny sentient tentacles too. Maybe it's a colony of other animals that live on his face.
We just don't know.
We don't know. We need more lore to explain this.
No, we do not need more lore.
Well, how else are we going to find out? Do we just get to make stuff up?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I mean, that's what the lore is going to be anyway. So
maybe the meeps are born from Bard's sentient hair things. Lilac has a flash over the wall there. Roar, Valkyring away. Madlife flashes in to try to get the slow, which he does get, but CJ not quite able to follow that up with a kill.
Well, trying to make a pick right there, but not really able to commit. Against CJ, not the best crowd control for engaging unless Madlife can actually hit that Tempered Fate. And try and make a pick right here.
Oh,
Roar
well,
gets
that's
caught.
easy.
Oh.
Yeah, Madlife. Woo! Gets it. That was a wimpy woo, but you get the idea.
And now the Dragon spawning, so they got the pick they needed right before the Dragon spawn. Lilac going to activate that and take a little bit of damage, and CJ going to casually stroll over and see if they can secure this objective. Lilac is there, though. He's going to try another steal. Would be a bit over bold. Here comes a TP.
Yeah,
Shen.
they're going to try to stop it. Shen coming in, tries to get the taunt down onto Frozen. Frozen pops that Ghost to try to get away. Can't do it. So both summoners used by Frozen, and he still goes down. Nice zoning by Coco as CJ takes an easy second dragon. And they are so far ahead this game. 3 turrets to 1, 2 dragons to 0, 12 kills to 3. And why not a bottom turret with that too?
Yeah,
why not a
chaining
kill with
right
that as well?
into that taunt. Apple very low.
I mean, headbutt pulverize onto Coco and Shy, but doesn't matter. There's nobody there to do damage from IM.
Yeah, they're going to start setting up a siege right now. Lilac behind the turret while Space pushes it up. Long magical journey. Just get back in position.
It's
in
not
front
that
of the
long.
tower.
I feel like Bard is always kind of yawning too, you know? Oh, headbutt pulverize onto Ambition, gets exhausted. Whoa! Ignar just disappeared, man. Lilac gone as well too. Another double kill for Coco. And nice Tempered Fate catches Roar, and that is going to be another easy kill. Looks like they managed to barely take out Ambition there, but Apple's going to pay for it. Shy's still alive. Madlife picks up another one. They finally take down Coco, but Magical Journey. Oh, here comes Frozen. Get ready for the Q. Oh, he mistimed his. Oh, I thought he mistimed his Q for a second. Barely hit that. Shy's like, is Frozen over there? Yep, he is. He is.
Oh, Frozen.
They're going to kill Frozen. Check this out. They're going to turn. Watch, he's going to follow through.
Frozen doesn't have Chaos Storm. They definitely could turn on that.
I know. I feel like they could have, man. They could have been tricky with the cosmic binding. Would have been possible. Yeah.
So much better than the regular planetary binding.
Yep.
The cosmic binding.
So much bigger. Which does make sense because it's a very low range skill shot.
What the hell is a cosmic binding anyway?
I don't know, man. It's a bond that brings you and Bard closer together in that he's going to kill you.
I just don't get how some of these abilities get named. Like, how is it I understand how it's a binding. Okay, got me there. It
Sure.
binds two things together, whether it's two enemies or a minion and an enemy or them to a wall. Okay, got it. Binding. All right, check. What is cosmic about it?
Because, Monty, things in the universe are made of other things, and those things can cosmically be drawn together through the power of magic. That's what Bard is all about. Although, apparently what Bard is all about is collecting these like powerful artifacts. So I don't even know why he's fighting with anybody in League of Legends. Shouldn't he just like rob the shopkeeper and then leave? Like when you play Bard, shouldn't you just like show up, all the items in the shop disappear, and then that guy like logs out?
Then they put him on FBI's Most Wanted.
Yeah. Like Runeterra's Most Wanted. Wanted for stealing like everything. It's kind of a big house. Indiana Jones is so mad at Bard. It's like, it belongs in a museum, Bard, not your house.
Shia's little shrine there, just a little speed boost and head the other way, and here we go.
Oh, and Ambition comes through the magical journey, gets headbutted right back over the wall, though.
Yeah, they wanted to make a pick right there, but again, a lot of disengage for Incredible Miracle or zoning with things like the gravity field, so they're not really able to get the angle they want, even with that magical journey. It looks like they are just going to start the Baron eventually. Well, they won't as long as Ambition is standing there.
Well, they can certainly bait it. I mean, IM can't fight right now, so CJ can kind of do whatever they want here. Their lanes are pushed up. Yeah.
Shy went for the Trinity Force.
He did. I thought so. Yeah. Whoa. Ignar gets caught. Explosive cask used. A lot of damage coming in, and Ignar taken out very easily. And now I think it's the time you start the Baron. Yep. They will.
You know, with the changes to Shen's passive and the fact that it's up more at later levels, it does increase his damage output pretty significantly.
That's a good point, actually, when you think about that with the Trinity Force. Yeah, whoa! Meanwhile, IM comes in and has two people just get immediately vaporized. Apple on the run, a magical journey brings Apple to doom.
Now back to the Baron.
That's right. Well, Lilac's like, sorry guys, I was in the enemy jungle. Couldn't help you. Oh, Shy is Rek'Sai hunting. Nope, nope, not anymore.
I was just looking for Rek'Sai right now, making sure that there's not going to be a chance of this steal. Shy just...
Oh, he's trying.
Nice
no,
intercept.
Shy was ready, yeah. There with the taunt, Lilac taken out. And Mad Life with yet another kill. Bard adding to his collection. It'd be cool to go to Bard's house. Probably got like a lot of awesome stuff, you know? Like, I don't know, like Bigfoot and the Ark of the Covenant and like Han Solo frozen in carbonite. It's probably got a lot of really cool stuff.
Just goes into other fictions and takes their stuff too.
Why not? And oh yeah, that like glowing ball thing too from the cartoon. Yeah. Maybe that's why Victor only has one like single arm on his back, because Bard took the other one. He could just take both. Who knows? This is the kind of support game I like to see though. 4-1 and 13. I mean, to be fair, Bard's passive, once you get a lot of chimes, can do a pretty decent amount of damage when it comes to closing out kills, securing them, if you will.
He definitely is having a good game, and a lot higher kill of a game than we normally see from CJ also. They've been very much focused on picks in this game, and doing objectives only after they get kills. Well, here we go.
Oh boy, Ignar tries to start something. Emperor's Divide just keeps IM trapped over against space. Mad Life coming in. They've caught and frozen, and he's going to go down even with that ult from Hecarim over the top of everything. IM just way too far behind right now. Space trapped against the wall there. Can he survive? Gets the kill onto Lilac. Will he actually be able to get away? A double kill for him. He does. Wow. Space makes it out. That was about as close as it gets. Mad Life picking up another kill in there too. Pretty awesome to see for me.
Well,
magical journey.
CJ sort of messed up that engage because Coco went in with the Emperor's Divide, but it coincided with Mad Life's Bard ult, so that Frozen actually didn't get pushed out from underneath the turret. It just caught Frozen and Coco behind the turret both.
It was a zoning Emperor's Divide.
And that meant that it really didn't do a whole lot right there. And problematic because Coco then was behind enemy lines deep underneath the turret and wasn't really able to contribute to that fight and died very early on.
Luckily, they're 18,000 gold ahead, so it's not the biggest deal in the world.
That is true.
Maybe a third dragon coming in for CJ. They were able to take that top inhibitor, of course, with the Baron buff. And getting this little movement speed boost is going to be very nice when it comes to chasing down whatever members of IM don't immediately die in the next team fight.
Here we go.
Yeah, wow, that is a fast Bard. Oh, man.
Righteous glory.
Yeah, Lilac gets slowed down by the Cosmic Binding. But no follow-up, really. He might have grabbed a couple chimes, too, because the speed is cumulative when you pick up one chime after another.
Wow, I really like how many of CJ's champions on this composition can go over walls. I mean,
that is cool.
Terrain really isn't an issue for this team. Even if they don't have their own abilities up, they always have that magical journey just to follow through and get picks in the jungle. And that's probably why CJ has been so determined to do so.
That makes sense. Now the siege on this bottom lane turret. CJ just walking in. Again, they're so far ahead, they really don't need to worry about a fight. Ambition tries for the body slam on Lilac. Doesn't connect. Looks like they'll be happy taking the inhibitor anyway. And so 2 inhibitors down and everybody magical journeys out. Whoa, never mind. Coco comes in for an Emperor's Divide. A little bit of missing communication for CJ there. Is the Zonia's enough? Tempered Fate. Coco comes out of the Zonia's after the Tempered Fate lands, though, so he dies. Meanwhile, Space a little bit caught, but still doing so much damage. Shy comes in for the Tauntaun to Apple to make sure that Space stays just fine, and it looks like that could very well be the end of the game. CJ only lacking Coco.
Yeah, they're just going to push forward right now, and CJ, a lot of the stuff I've seen with the Bard, them when they are trying to execute these team fights, looks a little bit, off still. That was another instance where the Zonia's wasn't entirely timed well with Mad Life's Tempered Fate to get that initiation, but Roar just going to get stapled to the wall and go down. Space with another kill.
And there it is, the end of the game. CJ Entus cruising to a victory, 21,000 gold ahead at the end of that one.
Far bloodier than most CJ Entus games. They really were looking to engage constantly, to play very aggressively, to make picks before doing objectives. Usually CJ is a team that just likes to poke you out and then do the objective after that. So a bit different from what we're used to seeing. Maybe not the most comfortable on that. Again, the Bard is so hard to play as a team. It really does change the way the team plays. And no one has really done what I would consider a truly amazing Bard game yet anywhere.
It was this one was good, but yeah, the miscoordination was still a little bit present. But either way, it's a victory for CJ, and you got to wonder too.